Hi, you're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's get straight to it. We have a lot of updates on Omicron cases in the country. Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has today said that India has reported 161 cases of Omicron in the country. Now, he told the Rajya Sabha, and I quote, as of now, India has 161 Omicron cases. We are monitoring the situation daily with experts, with our experience during the first and second waves to ensure that we don't face problems if variant spreads. We have arranged a buffer stock of important medicines, end quote. In the meantime, India has reported 6,563 new COVID cases and 132 deaths in the last 24 hours. Now, Delhi government has decided to conduct genome tests for all samples testing positive for COVID. Now, as of now, only samples for international travelers were being sent for genome sequencing. Delhi has reported 6 more Omicron cases, taking the total tally to 28. Now, Chief Minister Kejriwal said, and I quote, about 99% of people are vaccinated with first dose and 70% with second dose. We have all facilities and arrangements to start the booster dose drive in the city. If center gives permission, this government will start the drive and give booster shots to all the health workers first and later to the others, end quote. So basically, he was pushing for booster shots and requested the central government to give permission. Now, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has also said that there is no shortage of oxygen in the national capital and that the government is prepared to face the Omicron COVID variant. He said this after a meeting to discuss a new variant, and I quote, no need to panic in view of the Omicron threat. We have adequate arrangements at hospitals if there is any spread of new COVID variants. There is no oxygen threat this time. Experts say Omicron is a mild variant of COVID. The number of hospitalizations and deaths are fairly low because of Omicron, end quote. Meanwhile, the director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Dr. Randeep Guleria, on Sunday said that India must prepare itself for any sort of eventuality. Now, speaking to ANI, he said, and I quote, we should prepare and hope that things are not as bad as in the United Kingdom. We need more data on Omicron. Whenever there is a surge in cases, in other parts of the world, we need to monitor it closely and be prepared for any sort of eventuality. It is better to stay prepared than to get caught off guard, end quote. In the meantime, the World Economic Forum will defer its annual meeting in Switzerland's Davos because of continuing uncertainty over the spread of Omicron cases across the globe. Now, the summit, an annual meeting of high-profile, economically powerful nations and corporate leaders, was scheduled to take place between the 7th of January and 21st of January. It's now planned for early summer. Moving away from COVID updates to what's happening in the parliament. Now, the Election Laws Amendment Bill 2021 to link voter identity and Aadhaar cards was passed in the Lok Sabha today amid din. Now, the bill was passed through a voice vote with several opposition members standing in the well of the house and they were sloganeering. So there was opposition. The opposition MPs claimed that the bill would violate the fundamental rights of citizens. In the meantime, Union Law Minister Kiran Rijiju has said that the amendment was only meant to stop bogus and fraudulent voting. Now, according to the statement of objects and reasons of the bill, it provides for amendment of Section 23 of the RP Act 1950, enabling for the linking of electoral roll data with the Aadhaar ecosystem to curb the menace of multiple enrollment of the same person in different places. Moving on to news from Punjab now, the National Commission of Minorities has taken suo motu cognizance of alleged sacrilege cases in Punjab. It asked the state's chief secretary to submit a report on the incidents by the 26th of December. Now, to give you a bit of a background, on the 18th of December, a man was killed in an altercation with devotees at the Golden Temple in Amritsar. The next day, another man was beaten to death in Nizampur village of Kapurthala district. Now, the police, however, meanwhile, has said that there is no visible sign, and I'm quoting them, visible sign of sacrilege in this case. Now, the two incidents happened in a span of 24 hours. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi on Sunday, in the meantime, visited the temple premises to take stock of the situation. Deputy Chief Minister has said that the SIT will submit its report in the next 2 days. Also in the news now, the Kerala police today has arrested two RSS workers in connection with the murder of Social Democratic Party of India State Secretary K.S. Shan in Alapura on Saturday night. Now, this comes after BJP leader Ranjit Srinivasan and State Secretary of the Social Democratic Party of India K.S. Shan were killed in the state. Now, both the leaders were killed within a span of 24 hours. The SDPI has now alleged the involvement of RSS behind this murder. However, RSS leaders have refuted these charges. Now, State Police Chief Anil Kant has directed the police to strengthen the vigil across the state for the next 3 days. Vehicles will also be checked. Additionally, processions and the use of loudspeakers will be restricted for the next 3 days. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan has now assured strict police action. Section 144 has also been imposed in the Alapura district of Kerala. Also in the news, senior Indian diplomat Pradeep Kumar Rawat has now been appointed as India's next ambassador to China. Mr. Rawat will succeed Vikram Misri. Now, an Indian Foreign Service officer of the 1990 batch, Rawat is currently the country's envoy to the Netherlands. Let's now take a look at what's making news in the world of business. The Indian equity benchmarks ended at a 4-month closing low amid Omicron scare. Now, the Sensex fell as much as 1,879 points, its biggest single day fall since February 26. And Nifty tumbled below its important psychological level of 16,450 to hit an intraday low of 16,410. Now, at closing, the Sensex fell 1,190 points or 2.09% to close at 55,822. Now, among Nifty stocks, 47 out of the 50 stocks were in red today, only 3 were in green. Markets fell across the globe as surging Omicron COVID cases triggered tighter curbs in Europe and threatened to swamp the global economy into the new year. Let's also take a look at what's making news across the world right now. According to AFP, Typhoon Rai has ravaged the southern and central regions of the Philippines, and the death toll has now risen to 208. More than 3 lakh people have fled their homes. Thousands of military, police, coast guard and fire personnel are being deployed for rescue operations. Now, the president has promised 2 billion pesos in new aid. Also in the news, Malaysia's rescue operation authorities on Sunday have rescued over 21,000 people displaced by flooding from torrential rain in 7 states. Now, this is said to be one of the worst floods in Malaysia. Over 66,000 police, army and fire department personnel have also been deployed. Moving on to sports news right now, shuttler and former world number 1 Kidambi Srikanth has become the first Indian man to win a silver medal at the BWF World Championships. Now, Kidambi Srikanth lost to his Singapore contender in the men's singles final at Spain. And one piece of good news before we wrap up this bulletin, Andaman and Nicobar Islands has vaccinated 100% of its adult population with both the doses of COVID vaccines. Now, this is according to PTI, which has said that 2.87 lakh people have received both the doses of COVID vaccines in Andaman and Nicobar. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching.